Right, okay, guys, welcome to another video. You've seen the title. This is 10 PC Engine Shmups you must play, and I'm joined by my good mate, Mr. PantherUK. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Al. How are you, mate?
I'm absolutely wonderful, apart from the technical issues we had. We were going to tee this up for I said to Chris, I want to start sharp at 8 o'clock. It's now 21:04. Yeah, it's one of these things. You had it was working fine. You had microphone problems, and then we could not figure out how to actually get these videos to display so we could hear it. But we've got there eventually. So, yeah, welcome to the video.
You say 10. That depends if we've got any that are the same.
Well, it might well be 5. You never know. Since we're running short of time, it might be better. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. So, PC Engine, have you had much experience of that machine?
Only in emulation. I didn't know about it, back in the day. I mean, if I had done, the chances are I would have spent some of my early wages on saving up and importing one, because they're for what they are, for what's considered an 8-bit console, they're something else, isn't they?
Yeah. I mean, it was one of these machines. I can always remember seeing computer video games, and they would have like previews, and they had the adverts, and it was like 400 odd quid from Japan, and that it was one of these absolutely unattainable machines. You could only drool at the prospect of getting that. We were still playing the ZX Spectrum Commodore 64 machines, and the people with money were playing these. Are just unbelievable. So you're quite a big kind of Shmups fan then, aren't you, Chris?
I do like a shmup, yes. Although you wouldn't think so with the way I've played some of these videos, but a lot of them I hadn't played for a while, and I was going through like my little list of ones I could remember, and I just basically didn't really have much practice, and I just went for it. So
don't worry. I put mine together last night, and it's like, bloody hell, I need to get these done. But I think I managed to. I think what we said was we'd play them for 5 minutes, and I think I managed to not have more than one game at any of them, which is kind of going great for somebody like myself. I mean,
Well, one of my ones is I find it's like, it's not R-type, but it's R-type level difficulty. So that one, because it's one of the really good CD intros, I thought, yeah, we'll have the CD intro and the music just take up a bit of time. So I edited that back on the front of it.
Just before we start, so have you got the ability to play the CD games on your PC?
Yeah.
Right, because I thought I had them and I didn't. So a couple of them that I wanted to feature, I had to actually play on my PC Duo and basically point my iPad at the screen. Hence, the quality is shit, the sound's going to be rubbish, and it's a huge file size, which was why we had a bit of delay tonight, because the 3 that I managed to record using on the PC were like 90 meg, whereas other ones were a lot bigger. I'll need to maybe look into getting these. So how do you run the CD image? Is it Magic Engine you use?
No, well, I mean, I could use Magic Engine, but you have to actually mount a CD for that. And sometimes if I'm having like a big sort of emulator gaming session, I tend to use a Launchbox, and then of course you've got to mount each CD outside of that. So I use RetroArch, or RetroArch, whatever you want to call it, and
right.
I've got one of the CD Engine core I've got in that. As long as you've got the BIOS for them, it plays the CDs as well. And, being a ROM collector like yourself, it's possible that I might have a full CD set. Who could say?
Anyway, listen, without much further ado, I think we'll kick off. So, for myself personally, I wouldn't say that these are my 5 favorite PC Engine games, or even 5 favorite shmups. There are so many good ones that I had to leave out. So these are just basically 5 shmups that, if you're a shmup fan, you've absolutely got to play. So, kicking things off for me, let me just get this going. The first one I want to feature, and this is where I'll see you smile because you've probably picked it. This is Superstar I was going to say Sean Connery, Superstar Soldier. And I need to tick that one there. So
I don't think so.
And let's play the video. Hopefully we can see that okay. And hopefully we can hear it okay. Can you hear that okay?
I can hear it and see it, mate.
Brilliant. So this was one that was obviously, it's a non-CD CD game. Are you familiar with this one?
I'm aware of the name. I don't know. I think I might have played it. I'm not sure. I'll see in a minute when it starts properly. I'll be able to tell you. I can't read any of that. I can read that bit though.
I don't mind. There you go, 1990. I mean, people were still playing 8-bit machines when this came out. You know, the quality is absolutely... It's arcade quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
And listen to that sound. Listen to the music.
Do
you know what?
The synth chip now.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what kind of architecture did it have, music-wise?
Blimey, you're asking a question. I wasn't expecting that kind of question. I can look it up while you're talking about the game.
Yeah. Nah, it's awesome. I mean, I love the graphics. They're detailed. There's a plethora of power-ups which you can pick up. I'm not usually a fan of sort of shmups where you get gifted power-ups really easily, but this one just plays. It just looks beautiful. It's immense fun. It really is.
It does. I find on here a lot of the games have these massive super weapons that spread across the screen like that. I mean, there's one I've definitely got that's got this sort of weapon going on.
I don't know if any. I don't know how many of these were actually arcade ports. I'm not aware of this being an arcade port, but that's not to say it wasn't.
No, I mean there's a lot of ports that you could probably play them in MAME if you look for it if they've been done. But there's a lot of games that didn't make it out of Japan, so you know, short of imports and that, you wouldn't have seen it. I mean, the PC Engine, as far as I know, was only released in America. Was the TurboGrafx 16?
I think the TurboGrafx. Yeah, I think the TurboGrafx was American, and also the Turbo. Because the TurboGrafx was never officially launched in the UK, was it?
No, the closest we got was the PC Engine, which was Japanese, obviously, and I believe that was released in France as well.
But it's just, you know, if somebody told you this was an actual arcade machine, you would believe them. It's just absolutely awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. And when you couple in the CD music on the CD-based games, yeah, it really is something else as a system. It's definitely bright and colourful. You got to give it that. I mean, looking at my little spec thing here, it's got an 8-bit CPU and a 16-bit video colour encoder and a 16-bit video display controller. So that's why there's always been a discussion whether it's an 8-bit or a 16-bit machine.
Aye,
surely the processor would denote that because of the amount of memory it can address at one time. So I'd say it's still an 8-bit console.
I mean, this was, you know, this came out when, you know, most people. I mean, I did have an Amiga at that point, but you know, there's not an Amiga shmup that can come remotely close to something this good. I don't care what you say, you know what I mean? Your Xenon 2s and even, God bless it, your Hybrises are lovely. You know, technically, this is just, you know, look at the graphics, look what it's actually pushing about. And this, I would imagine this is all running at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, really, it does look smooth, like 60 frames per second.
Colours as well, just awesome.
Yeah,
I'll give you a laugh. When I was recording some of the videos last night, I actually ended up recording the same game twice. But one was like Japanese and one was English, and I didn't realise it until I actually came to look at it. I goes, well, man, I'm sure I've done that one. I'm like, oh, bollocks. I had to pick another one, but...
Yeah, I'm hoping I haven't picked the English version of it, but we'll find out, won't we?
You know what, it doesn't matter. They're all absolutely wicked games.
Yeah, I mean, look how fast that's moving.
Ah, it's just, yeah. So is that one that you've knowingly played at all? Have you played this one?
I recognise the music. I recognise the music. I mean, when I first got like a complete set of them, I went through a lot of games. So the chances are I have played it, but there's so many games. You get a load at once, you got to sit down and play them, and there's only a couple that I've sat down and played a lot.
That's same myself. Yeah. Brilliant. Anyway, that's definitely worthy of it. What we're going to do is we'll put the links to all these games down below so that you can see if it tickles your fancy, you can go and look for it. So yeah, that's my first choice. Back to yourself, Mr. P.
Right. Well, my first choice is now I've got to before don't put my screen up yet because I've got to try and work out how to say this now. My first choice is Kyoku Tiger. Right, Kyoku Tiger, which is basically from what I've been led to believe by Jeff, because Jeff, my mate, does a lot of he can read Japanese now. He's been doing it for the last couple of years, like seriously doing it. And see now my thing's playing up now, Al.
Don't worry about it. We can edit these bits out.
Yeah, excellent. We might have to. We're back. We're back.
Okay, we're good to go.
Yeah, we're good to go. Do your wave that you normally do.
Take it away. There we go.
Right, yeah, this is Kyoku Tiger, which basically translates to Ultimate Tiger. And the reason I picked this one, and you have to let me know if you can hear it, because I'll have to play about with the sound. There ain't any at the moment. Because this reminded me a lot of Black Tiger that we were playing in the score challenge.
Sounds good.
So it's basically an helicopter game. Well, for some reason, I seem to be. I've discovered since recording it, I seem to be a bit inept at bothering to use the bombs. But there's like a demo mode afterwards where you can see what that does. But yeah, I thought this was really nice. You know, and you compare this to, I suppose the closest you've got on the Amiga is Swiv. Or it hasn't got the beefy explosions that Swiv's got on it, but
yeah.
There's definitely more happening on screen, and it's just smoother. I watched a video of Swiv earlier on that someone put up, and I was surprised at how choppy the frame rate on the Amiga actually was. I mean, they seem to use, 25 for us over here, or 30 frames per second. But this is so smooth. I mean, the scrolling, the colours, everything about it.
I think shoot-em-ups are the one genre that really do. You can tell when they're playing smoother. I think the silky smooth. It does make it. It makes it easier to play, and it just makes it all more enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, I actually thoroughly enjoyed recording this. I mean, like there was like you say, there's a few extra ones that I played that I wouldn't say didn't make the cut. I just was trying to do a bit of everything rather than just spaceship, which is what you normally get with shoot-em-ups.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me very much of one of my favourite arcade games is Tiger Heli.
Yeah,
it does look very similar. I'm wondering if it was a kind of an unofficial sequel to that, possibly.
Well, I suppose it could be. It could be. Yeah. It's called Ultimate Tiger, so I mean, that sounds like
Tiger Heli. Yeah, could well be.
It's a pretty good game though. It plays nice. It's not that fast and manic, but you kind of get stuck in positions like most shoot-em-ups. You're gonna have to memorize it a bit. But
so it's a pattern type game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I carried on. There you go. I carried on this one. It's been a few weeks since I recorded these. But yeah, I don't normally use continues, much like yourself. So I thought, for the purposes of videos and playing like a twat, I thought I'd chuck a couple of credits in. Was it one you've played at all?
You know what? I don't think I have. I mean, the thing is, there are so many, and obviously, when it's a Japanese title, you're not always going to be aware of what the game is until you actually play it.
Yeah, see, I think I'm fortunate because I use Launchbox as a front end. When you load all your games in on that, it normally gives you like the box art and screenshots and the descriptions, like one of the old memes does, where you can look at what you're getting into.
But this would have been my absolute dream machine. You know, the only thing that we are omitting to mention is obviously if you had this back in. When did this particular game come out? Do you know?
Probably tell us on the title page.
Aye.
It's around. I think it's around. A lot of them seem to have come around sort of like 88 to 92. So you're talking about that period.
Early 90s. In fact, let me just load up my my PC Engine thing that'll maybe tell us. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the kind of games retailed for back in the day. Probably 30, 40 quid, something like that.
Yeah, it must have been something like that. I mean, they came on the little Hue cards, didn't they? So
yeah. No, box, that doesn't help me any. Something Tiger. Tiger.
Well, Ultimate Tiger. I don't know if you've got it down as that.
Ultimate Tiger. No, can't see it. But yeah, you say, I think most games came out.
89. There you go.
89. Wow.
1989. That was what I have in '89. I think I had an Atari ST still. Then that was before I got my Amiga. So
yeah, I mean that. As far as I'm concerned, I mean we all know about the Neo Geo. That was the machine that only ridiculously rich people could own because games themselves were like £300. As far as I'm concerned, this is just as good as any Neo Geo.
Oh yeah,
machine.
Hey, look at the bullets coming out the front of that.
And there's not a jot of slowdown. You know what I mean? It just looks incredible.
It is. It's a go. If you like Tiger Ellie and stuff like that, mate, I definitely recommend you give this one a try.
No, definitely. What I think we should maybe do, I'm assuming there's going to be a bit more mileage. I'm sure we could have a second episode of this. And what we should maybe do is just very briefly each play the games that we've not played and just give our thoughts on it.
Yeah, we
just
can.
Just for a couple of minutes, and then we can pick another 5. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty much the video there, mate.
Brilliant, good stuff. Right, this next one of mine is it's a CD-ROM game, and it's called Gate of Thunder. A big part of the appeal for PC Engine games is they're just so Japanesey. And the fact that I haven't got a clue what's going on is because, as we all know, Japan basically invented the video game, and the fact that they're just so Japanesey, I think this makes them so good. I don't think the intro has any relevance to the actual game, but it's nice to look at.
It kind of does. It's your characters and your ships, isn't it? Just goes to show you. I'll turn the sound down a bit again. It just goes to show you what difference it made having like CD sound on stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much excuse me, pretty much showing you all the vehicles and the characters and that in it. So, but I didn't get very far in this. I don't know how well you done in the one you recorded with your iPad.
Nah, no. Yeah, I think I managed to get 5 minutes out without actually dying. Well, without restarting the game, but
I got 5 minutes out, including the intro.
in fact, yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I was the same. So there we go, 1992.
Yeah, so that was when I had my Amiga still in '92. And as much as I love the Amiga, even the A1200, it wouldn't have done this as well. No. There would have been probably a bit of slowdown. It wouldn't have been as smooth, which is a shame because they've proved since that that the Amiga is capable with some of the modern stuff they've made.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming. I think this could display more colours in the Amiga as well, couldn't it? I'm sure it did.
I'm not sure how many it displays.
Yeah.
I mean, the A500, what was that? That was 32 colours, wasn't it? 16, then 16 half bright.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm assuming this would have been. I don't know if it would have been quite 256, but would have been more than the Amiga anyway.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot going on there anyway. Yeah.
Which is more than could be said for my flying.
What was that?
I said it was more than could be said for my flying.
I think we might have been better sticking with my video, and it's not often people say that, but.
Well, yeah, but I had another go. I carried on.
Thing about these games is, I mean, I'm be exactly the same. I go on about how much I love certain games, and you probably do the same, but you actually don't play them that often. I've got just a ridiculous number of games, and you games like this, you really get so much more out of them if you actually just spend a bit of time getting to know the controls, getting through the levels, because it's beautiful. Look at the speed of the game. I'm not usually a big fan of horizontal scrolling games. But
I prefer verticals myself.
Yeah.
But there's so much going on that screen, but it's not detracting from the action. But like any game, a shoot 'em up, it is a memory game. The more you play it, I would have known that thing would have fired there, and
Aye.
I would have known to get out of the way or stay in the middle or whatever. This one doesn't go silly with the weapons either.
What's that?
This one doesn't go silly with the weapons either.
Aye, yeah.
That I crashed into the thing above because that's a great big ship.
I wasn't too sure about that, but I think I did manage to avoid crashing into that thing. I wasn't sure if you'd go over it at all. But yeah, another obviously stonking. Do you play again?
We both picked it, so that's how good that one is. And I do like the music on this as well.
I'm just trying to figure out whether that would be possible without the CD. Possibly not. I don't know.
No, I mean that is. You can tell that CD sound. I mean, that sounds like a band playing. Whereas the other stuff, it is chip tunes. That's that one, mate.
Fantastic.
But it's they're very well done chip tunes. Obviously, it's got a better selection of instruments than the Amiga. As much as I love the SID chip, it's got a certain sound. It doesn't sound like
it can't deviate too much from it. Yeah, unless you're Thomas the Turtle, obviously he can do what the hell he wants with it.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, that's obviously that was both our. So is that going to be back to me then? Is it how many? How many have we done? 2, 3?
Well, we've done one each, and we've kind of just shared one.
Aye, the second one. So is it back to me then? Is it? Yeah, it will be.
It don't matter, does it really now?
Well, listen, I'll let you pick. Yeah, because I went for that one. So
we'll drop that screen out then, so I can sort out my next one. Otherwise, you'll see all the other ones.
Magic, yeah.
That's the only danger with doing them on the quiet. Is like you're going to end up getting doubles like that. But what a double to have.
Well, I think the fact that we've both picked that is just a reaffirmation. I can't even bloody say the word. It reaffirms that it's a cracking game. So
it does. Right. So I'm so used to double clicking videos. I'm opening them in VLC player now, and it's slightly different.
I'll just need to tee up my next one as well.
Right, I am ready.
Okay, right. So that was a joint number 2, and Mr. Panther's number 3 is.
Right, well, this one is Cybercore, and that's a 1990 game. But I don't know if you know this one or not.
Never even heard of this one.
Right, we'll get a game on. This is very, very insect based. So, Chris Lucosa will love it. It's like it's like a better version of Apidia. So yeah, that was like the demo mode. So I left all the graphics on when I started the game up. Apparently,
there was a game? Was it Gemini Wing that kind of looked similar to that? I'm sure it was an arcade game. It came into me and it had kind of like beasts and plants and that kind of stuff.
it might well have done.
Yeah.
But again, you look at how fast this flinging stuff around. I mean, this could be, you know, the same sort of setup as Hybris or any of the other games.
Yeah.
What I like about this one is when you shoot that weird big fat insect and you get a power up out of it. That power up also acts as a shield. So if you see in the bottom corner, it says shield shortened.
Ah, right, okay, yeah.
So if I get hit, I'll lose that weapon, but I won't die. And you can add up to like 3 weapons at once. The only downside to this game is you got to shoot the floor as well as the. Yeah, but all I did was just press 2 buttons at once.
So that's a bit of a deal breaker for me, I'm afraid. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, the best example of that game is it Dragon. Oh, what the hell's it called? Dragon
Spirit or Breed.
Dragon Spirit, that's the one. Yeah, you've got to shoot the floor, and what I end up doing is just hammering both fire buttons, but I'm not a fan of that. And of course, Xavius was the very, very same.
Yeah, I'm not usually a fan of that one, but this one I thought had a good mechanic, and to be fair, there's not that much on the floor really. The odd pond skater and some other weird stuff.
It's a nice little change for kind of aliens and spaceships and that kind of stuff, having kind of insects.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I was, you know, trying to do was try not to pick 5 games that all look the same. And when you've got a library like the PC Engine, that can take a minute to go through.
Little moths as well.
You don't like moths?
No, I'm not a fan of moths.
Oh, my youngest is, well, not terrified of moths, he just hates them. Sometimes he's sitting up at night gaming late. He talks to a lot of people in America, so he's up talking to his friend. And if there's a moth, you know about it because his chair bangs. That's what happens with the earliest alarm clock I get. Look at that beastly thing there, bloody great mosquito. But yeah, I thought this was another good shoot 'em up. Like shooting the ground doesn't break the game in this one. It's much better than the Dragon game.
What I like about games like this is it's not. I mean, I like the excitement of a bullet hell shooter, but I'm absolutely pants at it. I mean, I've got a few. Well, Sick Boy, who you know, he's on the main Meister High Score things. Sick Boy is just a gaming ninja, the same as Charlie Farr, and what the hell was I talking about? What was I talking about? I can't even remember what I was talking about.
About bullet hell games.
Bullet hell, yeah, and I mean, Andy Sick Boy had said, says bullet hell games are actually more puzzle than shooter. It's all about navigating that tiniest little space. It's about knowing the sort of the hit point on your ship. I mean, I think is it Dodon Pachi? It's literally the very, very tip of your ship where you die, and you need to be aware of that. So they're more puzzle and less kind of shoot 'em ups. Whereas games like this, I like it because it's fairly simple. You can see exactly it's like 1942. I know Lucosa hates 1942. I think 1942 is a great game because you know what you're up against. If you die, it's your own fault. You can see exactly what you need to do. And this is another perfect example of it. It's probably not the. I mean, compared to probably the other shoot 'em ups I've looked at tonight, it's more basic looking. It's not as pretty. It's not got as much going on, but still absolutely perfect for what it's trying to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if this is me playing now or if it must be me playing. I must have managed to get to level 2 and cut it in.
Well, oddly, the score wasn't going up there. Plus, you didn't die, so it obviously wasn't you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Cybercore.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's a nice one. Nice one. I'll need to check that out. And I says what we will do is after this video, Chris and I will go and we will play the ones that we've each recommended, which we haven't played. And then what we can do is we can do a wee kind of brief recap on issue number 2 on show number 2. So fantastic. Right, back to myself. Let's have a wee look. I should have teed that up when I was talking, but I didn't. So that's going to be number 3, right? Now this is probably. I think this is actually known. It's got 2 different names.
That's not promising. One of mine's like that.
Right. Well, you know what? It's an absolute. It's probably one of the best known games. Let me just find it. Stream, share screen. I want to go to Chrome tab, and you'll see it. There we go, and it's Blazing Lasers, aka Gunhead, I believe.
Oh right, no, I didn't pick that one. We're all right.
There we go, and again, this is a non-CD game, so this is all 700k or something off it. And I think this is a really early game. And again, you just look at the graphics, just awesome. Yeah, well, 1989. It's got quite an intimidating start because it just runs at 100 miles an hour and then it gradually slows up. Have you played this one before?
Yeah, this is one of the ones that's on my shortlist.
It's a beautiful game, absolutely stunning game.
It is. You think it's going to stay at that sort of speed, didn't you? When you start playing, oh bloody hell!
I noticed there's a bit the sound, the music. There's a lot of kind of drum sounds that were in my first choice.
Yeah, I mean,
quite similar.
Still fairly limited in what it can do, as good as it is.
Mm-hmm. But I love in this particular game. It's just, the attention to detail is beautiful. You know, it just looks amazing. Got some wicked weapons as well.
Yeah. And it's just I can't get over how smooth it is as well. It's just so smooth.
Yeah. Can you just imagine how jealous your mates would have been if you had one of these and he was playing his Spectrum? You know what I mean? I mean, this was. I think. Am I right in thinking that this was easily competing with arcade games that were out at the time, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there is a lot of shoot 'em ups on the PC Engine. But yeah, shoot 'em ups wise, there's definitely would have been competition with that. I mean,
yeah.
But see, that's the strange thing. I mean, I know over here, I mean, the PlayStation pretty much finished off killing off the arcades because of even the 2D games on that are arcade perfect.
Yeah.
And it was basically based on an arcade system, one way or the other. And you look at things like Ridge Racer and that. But this was out in the late 80s, and even today, the gaming arcade industry is still massive in Japan. Yet in the West, we seem to have all but given up on them. You know, all of them now are like specialist bars, and you know, the old arcades down the seafront near me, they're not machines anymore. They're fruit machines and cranes and tickets,
cash grabs and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think Japan is still. I think arcades are still a thing. I mean, I think like beat 'em ups and that kind of stuff are still massive, as are as a Street Fighter 4 and that kind of stuff, they're still huge. And also the Japanese love their candy cabs. They love their shoot 'em ups.
Yeah.
Have you played any like the actual candy cabs before?
I haven't played one, no.
Have you not? Oh, they're beautiful. I mean, yeah, imagine a 32-inch TV turned on its side vertical. It's like that size. It's beautiful. If I had any slight negatives about this game is there are just too many power-ups coming your way. You'll see there, I don't seem to have the same weapon for any more than about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I suppose that keeps it interesting.
I mean, I'm a bit of a twat because I'll pick up one and then rather than think, well, that's a good weapon. Oh, there's another one. I'll just pick it up and I keep changing constantly.
What, like that, you mean? The thing is, though, I mean, there's no time limit on the weapon, is there? I can see. So
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I've completely omitted to. I noticed here you've got that'll be ships and you've got 16. I don't know what that 16 stands for at the bottom right.
Yeah, that could be your bombs or something.
Anybody that's new to my channel, I've never ever professed to actually being any good at games because the amount of criticism I get in videos, oh, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you press the turbo button? Because I didn't bloody know there's a turbo button.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that on Super Hang On, someone said about it. And Mr. Lee Koza did it in a much nicer, friendlier way. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm the same as you, mate. I love playing games, but there's only a couple I profess to be really good at.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy the play. I enjoy the graphics and the sounds, and I do like seeing all the different weapons you get, especially in games like this where, well, this one you really do get a weapon a minute, don't you?
I think shoot 'em ups are still sort of the purest form of video game in my opinion, and I just love shooting stuff. Play something like Dodon Pachi when it's just explosions all over the shop. I mean, what's not to like about a game like that?
I had a debate with someone once. I said the first vertical scrolling shoot 'em up was Galaga, and he was like, "No, Galaxian." Sorry, he went, "No, there's not a vertical shoot 'em up." He goes, "It's a single screen. They're on there." I went, "There's stars in the background scrolling vertically." I said, "That's a vertical shoot 'em up."
Of course it is.
This guy wouldn't have it. It's either Galaga or Galaxian. And there's like scrolling. If they're scrolling, surely that's a scrolling shoot 'em up.
Of course it is. Well, I would definitely say anything that's vertical is a vertical shoot 'em up. Of course it is. Yeah. What a nonsense. Yeah, that was my, whatever it was, number 3. That was Blazing Lasers, or I think it's also called Gunhead. I think it was released as Gunhead.
Right, well, my next one, I'm going to drag a window across so I can actually read it, because this is another one that's in Japanese. Right, this one is a CD one. Now, this one isn't the best shoot 'em up you'll ever see. But why I picked this one is the music's good, and I think this is I had all this in my head a couple of weeks ago when we first talked about this. I think this is like a slightly later game. So what they've tried to do is they've tried to use I'm not sure if they're sprites or they've gone full on 3D, but they've tried to use more polygons for some of the stuff.
I think I know what one you're going to come up with, and it's one of mine.
Is it Ginga Fukai Densetsu Sapphire by any chance?
That's the one, yep. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Right, well, do you know what it stands? Do you know what that actually means, though?
I haven't a clue.
That is Galaxy Police Legend Sapphire. And it's police as in a policewoman, but not the word policewoman. It just means like, I don't know, language has different way of doing things. It basically means policewoman, but it's not the word policewoman. It means female policewoman, but just the word police. At least that's the way it was explained to me. So there we go. At least we've picked only one of these.
Have you, before you play a video, have you got the intro to this one?
I might have left some of it on there.
Aye. No, that's fine. Just go for it. There's one more that I've got that's got a cracking intro. So
right, chuck it up.
Ready to share it? Yep. Here we go.
Yep. Let's have a look and see if I left the intro one. I think I might have left some of it on there.
It's more for this Mr. L than anybody else because I know how much he loves manga.
I'll turn the sound up so we can not understand it loudly.
Yeah.
人類積年の夢であった反重力物質ネメシスの発見により状況は一変したのである。輸送、交通、建築など
It's hard to know if that's shit acting or not. It might be great acting.
人々が
It's like watching a bloody cartoon, I know that much.
ネメシスのある特殊な使用法による時間渡航、タイムトラベルの実現であった。政府は一般でのこの使用法を禁じ、時間渡航禁止法案を定めたのだが、非合法での渡航犯罪が急増。ついに対時間渡航犯罪捜査局を創設するに至ったのである。
All us men love a game with cute girls in, don't we? But there you go.
This has got fantastic music.
Yeah.
Do you know who played? Is that some famous track, or has that been written specially for this game? Do you think?
Chances are it was written especially for the game. There you go. I'll turn the sound back down a bit now, so we can yak. But what an intro, eh? I mean, yeah, you get 4 to choose from. I just chose the first one. I mean, I don't get very far in this game. It is. I don't know how you fared with it, but I've never played it that much.
No, I can't get very far in it at all. I usually die when I get to the first kind of end of level Guardian, but it's just there's so many nice effects going on here. Now, one little thing that people might not be aware of, this is obviously it's a PC Duo CD-ROM game, but it does require, and I've got one there, and I can, in fact, let me just, can I reach it? Can I reach it without taking the thing off? Hang on.
Can you reach it before I get game over would be the question.
Oops, there we go.
But the thing with this game is I wasn't quite used to playing it. I was playing these with like an arcade fight stick, and I'm used to playing this game on my GPD XD, and that's about as far away as you can get to an arcade fight stick as possible.
And look at what it's doing there. It's got the kind of holograms and that kind of stuff. It's got, as you see, it uses polygons, and it gels in so well together. It's just beautiful. Yeah. So as well as requiring a PC CD, the PC Engine CD, it also requires this, which it's an extra kind of card.
Oh, is that the arcade card?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that? That's what it basically needs that card to run it because it uses extra memory or something. So that is basically what the size of the cards that these things used to come on. Really, really nice.
There you go.
The sound effects in this are brilliant as well. They really are.
And what a bloody hell is that? Just sod off is what it should be. But that's a very different end of level baddie compared to a lot of games you'd see.
Aye, definitely, yeah.
I did use a few continues doing this, but even so, as difficult as it is, I still had great fun with it because of how good it looks, how good it sounds. I mean, it does play well. It's just bloody hard.
Aye. I mean, look at this. Wait till you see this thing. It gets kind of bigger as well, like a giant. I don't know what the hell it is. Giant spider type thing.
Yeah, I was trying to bomb the bloody hell out of it.
You can see it gradually starts climbing up. I mean, look at that. It's just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people outside the arcade didn't get to see graphics like that until, the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo were released in Europe. So, this is a later game, but the machine was capable of doing it.
How would you rate the PC Engine over like the SNES or the Mega Drive for like shmups?
Well, I never thought there was that many on the SNES. I mean, you got the Axelay, and there's a few horizontal ones like Aero Fighters and stuff like that.
I don't think this.
Mega Drive.
What was that? Yeah. What we could maybe do is maybe do one of these videos for the SNES and the Mega Drive. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think the SNES was really designed. I think it was a slower processor than the Mega Drive, and it wasn't really geared up for sort of two-dimensional games.
Yeah, well, they were kind of, when I remember when the SNES came out, a friend of mine imported one of the American models, and he had the Super Magic drive where you plug the disk drive in, you load from floppy disk, and he had stuff like Street Fighter, and I think it was like Mario games, Street Fighter, one of the World Wrestling Federation games, and stuff like that seemed to be all the rage at the time. And I think with a Mega Drive, even though I'm not sure about vertical shoot-em-ups, but I mean, I know you had like Hellfire and Thunderblade and stuff like that come out on the Mega Drive. Those are mostly horizontal games.
Yeah. No, it's something else. Right, okay, I think this is my final one, because that's obviously the second one, because that was my final choice. So my final one is, again, it's a non-CD game, and it's called Soldier Blade. I better just share the screen. We knew there was going to be a couple of overlaps, but
there's 3 overlaps now.
that doesn't matter. Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the one I played best at as well. So,
right. Well, since it's decent quality, we'll see how pish I am. So, okay, right. Let's take it away. So this was your last choice, then, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one, the one I know best and the one I'm best at playing.
That's actually quite incredible. So we both went away and we said we'll choose 5 games that we think are worthy of your attention, and we've only picked 3 games. We've picked 2 separates and the other 3 we agree on. So that says it all.
Out of a list of
quite a lot. Yeah. We can
we'll be doing the video in 2 halves now.
Well, on the bonus side, it means we're going to finish in time, which is handy. Yeah, just beautiful game. You know what? Did you know? I'm sure that this is only the second time I've played this game, and the very first time I played this, I'm sure, did you not pick this for me to play in a live stream?
I don't think so.
I definitely played this in a live stream, and it was a game that somebody asked me to play. Look at that, though. That's just incredible.
This one can be a bit crazy with weapons as well, though. I'll give it that.
There's so much detail, though. I love the intricacy, the graphics.
Yeah, the detail on the background is amazing. When you think someone sat there and hand-drawn it.
It's all hand-drawn, yeah.
And then they scroll on the screen for less than half a minute.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this was the only game in my list. I didn't get a game over. I got to about 5 or 6 minutes and then just faded the video out because I was still going.
So what is that? I've hardly played this. I noticed down the bottom there, you've got these 3 little kind of blue ship things. What side are these?
You can use them. Those are your power-ups. What you've done there, you've used that as a bomb, and you've used that as a bomb. And if you use the last one as a bomb, then you're back to your basic weapon. So they act as like your little wing ships. And then if you use them if you press like the bomb button, then it fires them off as a bomb, and then they disappear from the bottom.
Right, okay.
They're like a power up and a spark bomb combined. Or well, not a spark bomb, but a get out of trouble bomb. Yeah, that's what they're for. I really do like this game. This is I would have picked this. I was going to do this one first of all, and I thought no, I'll leave this one till last. This is the one I think is the best one. It's my out of all the ones I've played. This is my favourite one anyway.
Yeah, no, it's definitely up there. I mean, I think they're all definitely worthy. But yeah, look at the detail in that. It's just astonishing.
Yeah, and it's not on a CD, but this is another Hue card game.
Yep, this is another. Yeah, I don't know what it is, 700k or something.
Yeah, it's not even a. You know, this is just basically effectively an 8-bit shoot 'em up.
Aye.
It does. It boggles the mind. It's just so much going on. I mean, the amount of sprites on the screen, it still hasn't slowed down.
No, I don't think. I know the Mega Drive and the SNES would slow down. I don't think I've ever seen the PC Engine slow down. Even possibly.
I'll correct you.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. Is it R-Type or no? I'm sure it's the SNES R-Type slows down.
Yeah, it's an amazing game. Right, so you're going to take on the baddie now.
No, I don't think I got past this. I can't remember exactly, but.
Oh, he does things like that to you.
You just kind of drop stuff on you. I think I did eventually suss it out, but.
Yeah, I think I did get past him, but I used all my little ships as bombs to finish him off. Man, anyway, that's fairly big on the screen as well. That baddie.
Exactly.
It's not like a tiny little thing. That's got to be what, 10 of your ships if you line them up as a pyramid.
Yeah. And the sound of music just totally complements it. I'm not a fan of music with shoot 'em ups normally, but when it's done that well, it just really adds to the game massively.
Yeah, so I mean, I love music in games, so yeah,
there we go.
That's pretty much where I finished that one off. Level 1, as it was fading level 2, I drifted off. There's definitely some good games there.
Yeah, fantastic. So that was, how many games did we pick? 3, 4, 5, 7, I think it was. 7 in total, 7 fresh games for you to try out.
There was.
Yeah, we picked.
Yeah.
We agreed on 3, and then we had 2 each that we picked. So you've got 7 in total. But yeah, what we'll do is, if we can go and I'll play the 2 that you picked, and vice versa. And then what we can do is we can tag them on at the very start of episode 2 of this. Yeah, fantastic. And what we can maybe do is we can do the similar kind of video, pick the Mega Drive as well. But I think there's definitely mileage in this. There's so many good PC Engine games. I think we can definitely get at least 2 or 3 of these videos out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think next time I won't record mine so quickly, because I remember you saying we'll do this, and I was like, well, I had a day. I think my missus had gone to her sister's, and I had a date myself, and I think it was like 2 days later. So I recorded them all. I kind of forgot everything about them because you didn't actually say when we was going to do it. You just suggested. I was like, yeah, I'll record them now.
The ironic thing is, we were writing it was going to be 2 hours, but it turns out it was only ran to an hour, so just coming up to an hour anyway. So anyway, listen, thanks very much, Chris, for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you on my channel.
Pleasure to be here, mate.
Yeah, and please let me put your comments down below, guys, if there's any PC Engine games you want to see kind of featured in this. But like I says,
well, hey, other systems, if people want us to do one on the Mega Drive or the SNES or something, I mean,
absolutely. It can be a home computer based, 10 based shoot 'em ups. Just put your comments down below. And finally, guys, as always, thank you very, very much for watching.